that's not going to stop. First of all, you keep taking back a narcissist after they've cheated on you time and time again. Number one, you're a fucking sucker. And number two, they have no respect for you. The way I said no right now was just so terrible. So I will say it again. They have no respect for you. Welcome back, friends. My name is Kira, and this is Psychopath Exposure. You know, sometimes the questions are complicated, and the answers are simple. Many people ask me, Kira, how did you come out of this so unscathed? How come you were able to survive and come back with so much fire and so much light? And the answer is really simple. When I learned that what I was dealing with was a psychopath, not a human with trauma that wants to get better, not a human who's experienced a bad situation in their past and they just want to meet someone better and not make those mistakes again. Not someone like that, but someone who had a vendetta for all those that had come before. A vendetta to burn the souls of everyone that they would meet and date moving forward. When I understood what I was dealing with, and believe me, it took a lot of work with my mentor, reading books, and getting still with my emotions, getting still with the entirety, the totality of my situation. To put my emotions down and look at the facts and study the logic. That's when I realized, wait a second, I'm dealing with something that feels as if they're from another planet. This is someone that cannot be reasoned with, like a Terminator. They're programmed a certain way. And once that Terminator, once that psychopath has made a decision, has locked in on you and has made a decision to destroy you, it will not stop, and you cannot stop it. You think you're so smart. You think you can outsmart the psychopath narcissist. You think you won't be manipulated. You think you won't be conned. You think they won't tear you apart, rip your soul apart. You think you're above this species, this demonic entity that you don't even understand. It's not going to end well for you. Luckily, I had a mentor that explained this to me, and I had so much rage and anger that any type of confusion that I may have had at that point ceased to exist the moment he explained to me what I was dealing with. When he completed my sentences, when he was able to tell my story as I'm telling it to him, and he stops me and he predicts, he's like, so this is what happened next, right? And I'm like, how the fuck did you know? I will continue, and I would continue speaking, and he will stop me again. And then I bet you she did this. Yeah, how did you know? And on and on and on. I was like, wait, there's a pattern here. How would you know this? I started reading books, started consulting with him on a regular basis. And it seemed that the same thing had happened with him. And the same thing happens to all victims of psychopath narcissistic abuse. This is the pattern that we all go through. The problem with recovery and why it takes so long with most people is that most people cannot reach the point of anger where they can basically let go of those binding emotions that keep you tied to the narcissist, tied to the idea that you have of who you thought they were. who they showed you at the beginning to lure you into their trap. You're still holding on to that idea. If you're unable to really get pissed off about what happened, and I'm not talking about getting to the point where you're gonna go and physically hurt this person. I'm talking about pissed off at the embarrassment, pissed off at the time that was wasted, pissed off at yourself. Because let me tell you, a lot of you were warned ahead of time. A lot of you were able to identify the patterns for a long time. I mean, just read the comments in all of these videos below, and you'll see how people, they blatantly tell you, I've been doing this for 15 years. The patterns have been the same. I've been cheated on for 10 years. I've been cheated on since day one, and I still stayed. Okay, this is not something that just happens once and it's like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. It's the fact that this happens time and time and time again, and you still stay with this person and you continue to idealize them as if they are your soulmate, the love of your life, the angel that God itself sent just for you. If that was the case, they wouldn't be an infidel. If that was the case, they wouldn't be putting you through these panic attacks. A lot of you have developed an anxiety disorder by continuing to deal with these people. Imagine you had access to a pensieve. A pensieve is an object used to review memories, made popular by the Harry Potter series. You look into that and you're able to look at memories from the past from a non-participant third-person point of view. Okay, so you're completely detached. You have no emotions of being there. You're actually looking at the entirety of the memory, exactly how it happened. All right, a lot of you guys do that automatically when you ruminate, except you don't have that pensieve. So your memories are warped and skewed, and every time you go back and you ruminate looking for answers, you get triggered again. Every time you go back and you're like, aha! That's what he did. That's what he was doing. You get like a little piece of clarity, a little piece of validation, but you get triggered again because it's like, holy shit, he was cheating on me all this time, right? But if you were to able to look at your memories from a third person point of view, where you're not so associated with it, and you can look at it and you can observe and use only your logic, then it would make sense that this person was not the one for you. This wasn't the guy for you. This wasn't the girl for you. They never were. But you refused to let them go. You couldn't stand knowing that they wanted someone else. You wanted to win, but you lost. And you can't accept that. So you doubled down. You tripled down. You gave them more. You gave them more of your soul, more of your heart, more of your finances, your blood, sweat, and tears. You gave that to the narcissist. But they had already made up their mind about you a long time ago. They didn't want you. They didn't love you. They were using you because you were an expendable asset to them. They were using you for narcissistic supply. They probably told you that. They probably told you many times that they didn't love you. They told you many times. They compared you many times to their exes because they love doing that. They love comparing you. They love triangulation. They love knowing that there's two people confused and fighting over them and losing their minds because they feel important. It makes them feel important. You guys know how good it feels when you're with someone that loves you, to know that someone loves you and that they're thinking about you and they give you attention and you make plans together and you're intimate together, right? It feels great. Imagine having two. Imagine having two of those, right? I mean, let's be honest. It's like, wow, I got two, right? It sounds tempting, right? Thing is, the difference between traditionally healthy individuals is that you really can't have two because you share your love and you share your heart with one person. Now, if you're into polygamy, if you're into polygamy, it's a different story. But if you're into a traditional monogamous relationship with one person, the idea of having two, even though it's tempting, it's not going to be the same because your attention is split. Your attention is divided. You're never gonna feel that level, that intense level of love, of healthy love, right, with that one person, because now you got two people in your mind. Well, the psychopath narcissist doesn't have that problem because they don't have that level of empathy. Their love language is not like yours. So the idea of having more than one partner chasing after them feels damn good, especially if their self-esteem is shot, which, let's be honest, most narcissists, most toxic people have shit self-esteem. Just because they post pictures on social media looking like they're so happy and they're just kicking ass and they're healthy, hashtag this, hashtag that, quotes here, quotes there, yeah. That's a facade, guys. That's a facade. Anyone can do that. As a matter of fact, that's a cry for help. Every time I see someone doing something like that, I'm like, that person's miserable. That person has problems. There's something going on that is just not right. Because when you're really, really happy, you don't got time for that shit. Because you're living your life. You're actually out there doing things. You're with the people that you love. But when you're going out of your way to create the perfect picture that captures your best self and the best smile, and you're hashtagging every word under the sun, and you're just posting shit just to show your friends that you're good, you got this under control, there's something missing there. There's something missing there. And you know what? Narcissists do that. They do that. And if you notice, they never have anyone with them in those pictures either. It's usually them by themselves. They don't have friends. They don't have family they're posting together with. They're not actually doing cool shit. It's usually just them taking selfies. And it's a shame how they get all these guys DMing them, right? Because it's like a thirst trap. But you got to be able to look beyond that and ask yourself, why? How do they have so much time to post all this shit? And they're saying all these things, but their actions don't match their words. And let me piggyback off that, if I may. The narcissist's actions never matches their words, does it? That's how you know you're dealing with a liar. That's the best way to determine if the person that you're with is being honest. It's just, look at their past behavior. That's how you're going to determine future behavior, right? But look at the things that they say and then the things that they do. If I tell you, hey, if you do this, every time you do this, it hurts me and it creates anxiety and I can't sleep and I throw up all my food. A loving partner, a friend, goddamn, even a stranger, right, that has some sort of ethics and a moral code would be like, oh shit, my bad, sorry, I didn't know, thanks for telling me, my bad, man, you okay, you good? All right, cool. But the psychopath narcissist knows that's your weakness. Oh baby, I'm sorry baby, are you okay? Oh my god, are you okay? Does it hurt? Like, tell me, does it still hurt? Oh my god, so it hurts when I do this? Oh my god, okay, so what about over here? Does it hurt over here? What about a little lower? You see that shit? They're still digging in. They're still digging in. That's what they do. And I feel bad for those that double and triple down on someone that continues to do that to them. And this is why it gets hard, and this is why I say at that point, once the veil has been lifted, once you know what you're dealing with, and you continue to double down and triple down, you're no longer a victim. You're a volunteer at this point. And there's good news in that. If you're a volunteer, that means you made a choice, you made a decision. That means you have choices. You're just making the wrong choice. That means at any moment, you can make another choice, a different one, a better one, a healthier one that puts you first, one that puts your mental health first, one that puts your dignity first, one that puts your self-worth first. And if you're dissatisfied with the result of that decision, you can always go back to the other one. I'll happily refund your misery. You can try it. If you're dissatisfied, you can go right back to the hell that you're so familiar with. And let me know how that works out for you. See, you think you can outsmart the psychopath, but once that psychopath has made up its mind to destroy you, all bets are off. The psychopath will always be 10 steps ahead of you. You think you got it all figured out? You're just walking to their trap. You think you can outsmart them. You think you can play with a psychopath in its playground by its rules? You don't stand a chance. The only way to win is not to play, because the psychopath changes the rules as they go. And they're very unpredictable, even though if you understand the patterns of narcissist personality disorder, if you understand psychopathy, then you can predict patterns. But that's when you're looking at it through those pair of glasses. If you're looking at them as if they're just human, just normal people like you and I, you're going to be deceived. You're never going to be in their same frequency, at their same level. That doesn't happen. See, the psychopath and the narcissist is like they have a veil. They destroy you through deception. They thrive on deception. So they show you things that they know you want to see, but what's happening on the background is the truth. That's the reality. They showed you. They told you what you wanted to see and what you wanted to hear, time and time again. And then they would go and do what the fuck they do best, which is cause havoc, cause pain, hurt people, ruin people's lives, ruin people's mental health. And they will always do that. This is what they do. These are their patterns. This is their personality. This is the disorder. Stop trying to save the psychopath narcissist. You can't save them. A broken man, a broken girl will always break you. You cannot fix them. It's beyond your understanding. It boggles my mind how so many people want to be Mother Teresa and they want to save the predator that has destroyed them throughout the course of the relationship. I'm gonna help them. I'm gonna save them. They need help. I'm gonna help them. It's not their fault. I don't give a fuck whose fault it is. If you are hurting me, lying to me, cheating on me, betraying me, causing me all sorts of mental health issues, anxiety disorders, draining my finances, right? And smearing my name and triangulating me with other people, man, go burn in hell. I don't give a fuck what you went through, where you came from, what disorder you have, what your therapist said. I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck away from me. But you need to be able to get pissed off enough. I know I don't sound pissed off right now because it's late and I'm tired, but I wanted to put this video out there for you guys because a lot of you just cannot tap into the anger that you need to block and cut off these toxic people from your life. Sometimes you need to just be pissed off and just fuck this, and you grab your phone, block, delete, right? So that you can go to sleep at night and tell yourself, okay, this lying sack of shit is not gonna text me in the morning pretending that they just woke up when in reality is the other supply just dropped them off, right? After they've been going at it all night. You're not gonna have to read some bullshit text in the morning that's gonna trigger you. You block, delete, and now you don't gotta worry about that. Now you can start working on yourself. You can start working on the healing process. You can start making your exit strategy, your plan. I know if you guys are married and you're living in the household, it's not about blocking them because obviously you live with them, right? But there's stuff that you need to do. You need to get pissed off at yourself enough where you're not gonna put up with this bullshit, and you're not gonna be suckered, and you're not gonna be dragged down and pulled back into this toxic web of lies that they keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning until you have your head is just wrapped around this cobwebs wrapped around your head. Pretty much is what it feels like. And at that point it's like, oh, I might as well just believe it. At least I have someone. I'd rather have someone than be alone, right? You've heard that one, right? It's pretty pathetic. I'd rather have a fucking psychotic, right, tormenting, manipulating, deceitful traitor as a partner than have no one. Because when you have no one, right, you don't, let me tell you what happens when you don't have a partner, right? Your bowel movements are probably okay. You probably don't have anxiety. You're not being triangulated, so you're not in fear that you're being cheated on, right? You're not being gaslit because you see reality for what it is. You don't got someone trying to warp reality, right? It's pretty damn cool when you don't have someone like that. And the best part is that when you don't have someone like that, now you're free and open to meet someone that's not like that. Let me tell you, once you meet someone else, once you meet someone incredible, right, that doesn't have those type of fucking dark personality issues, and you don't have to be talking about this shit all the time with them. As a matter of fact, I would highly encourage people to refrain from talking about their ex all the time, because you're going to end up pushing away a lot of potentially healthy people that come into your life, because the universe is sending these people for you, because the universe is on your side. But the first thing you want to do is just talk about that crazy ex. These people might actually look at you and think that you're the bad one. They might look at you and be like, yeah. So you've had how many narcissists already have you dated? 4 or 5? Are you sure you're not the problem? That's what starts happening. So if you can refrain yourself from talking about this all the time and thinking about this all the time, right? What you do is now you start attracting more of what you do want. Because if you keep focusing on what you don't want, and you keep talking about what you don't want, and you keep talking about all the bad things that they did to you, and woe is me, and I can't believe this, and I can't believe that, and you just keep revisiting that, and you want to tell everybody about it, and it's like, oh, now I'm gonna dig into the past, and I'm gonna talk to this person, and let's just fucking do this now. Look at all that energy that you're expending. Meanwhile, remember, energy is unbiased, so wherever you put your energy, that's what's going to power things up, right? So you put your energy in the things that you do want, and in getting better and focusing, right, in the trajectory of your life. You start focusing on that. The bad shit by default starts taking a backseat. And that doesn't mean that there's not going to be cloudy days. That doesn't mean one of those crazy people can just show up and hoover and temporarily distract you. But for the most part, you're putting the attention on the things that you want and the things that you do want, instead of harboring all this negativity, right? All this fucking negativity that just keeps bringing you down, right? You get all obsessed, right, about this person, and meanwhile this other person already is in a new relationship, right? Or maybe they're just scamming other people, because most likely that's what's happening, right? The person that they were grooming while they were with you, now they're with that person, but they're already grooming the other person. Like they already have someone in line, because they know that they didn't love you in the first place. They were only using you. So now they find someone else that they can use, and they're just gonna get rid of you. But a lot of times they don't get rid of you because you're a sucker. I mean, if the narcissist knows that they can just keep coming back to you anytime they want, and you're going to take them back with open arms, and you're going to save them from whatever problem, whatever made up story they tell you. Oh, my ex, he's crazy, he did this, he did that, blah blah blah. You're going to believe that shit, and you're going to take them with open arms. You're going to change your lifestyle, you're going to change your schedule, you're going to change everything for them to take them back in, right? You're gonna bail them out, whatever problems they have. You're gonna become the fucking caretaker. If they know that they can always do that to you, if they know that you're such a doormat, we're talking about psychopath narcissists here. Like that that's not going to stop. First of all, you keep taking back a narcissist after they've cheated on you time and time again. Number one, you're a fucking sucker. And number two, they have no respect for you. The way I said no right now was just so terrible. So I will say it again. They have no respect for you. None. You are a doormat to them. They will walk all over you, wipe their feet, right? All the dirt, all the shit on their feet, they just wipe it on you. And they're going to just extract all the narcissistic supply that they need and everything they can get. No respect. They don't love you. They never loved you. You were an idea. You were a repository of narcissistic supply for them. That's all you were. And every time you took them back, you thought you were in the power seat, didn't you? You thought you were in the power seat. You thought you were going to win this one, didn't you? Nope. Trauma bonded. You remember the cycle of the trauma bond. You think you're in the power seat at that point when they come back, right? But then you go on that little loop again, right? And you notice within a week, sometimes days, they start devaluing you again. They start ghosting you again. They're up to their antics again. And now you start getting that anxiety, like, I can't believe they're going to do this again. Are they really going to do this again? Or are they still talking to their ex? Or are they really going to cheat on me again? I mean, he said he was going to get a divorce. Why is he still talking to his wife? Like, why is his wife coming around? Like, but he said, and before you know it, like, I know I went off camera, but, it's like, this is happening. And before you know it, they're in the power seat again. You're in hell, right? The whole cycle has repeated itself, and now you're crying again, you're hysterical again, you're going through all these emotions that you were hoping you had gotten rid of. You're going through the whole process again, but it's worse. It's worse, and it's worse, and it's worse, and I know it's late, and I don't know how I'm screaming right now, but I just get passionate sometimes. Things get worse and worse and worse and worse. But it's funny because just a few weeks ago, you thought you were winning, didn't you? You thought, they came back. This time we're going to play by my rules. These are my terms now. I lay the law now. But that's right. You're not going to fuck with me. And it's like, man, you're a sucker. This person just cheated on you and cheated on you and cheated on you. Probably gave you an STD and you're still taking them back. Come on now. But that's the trauma bond. That is the trauma bond. It's like a drug addiction. Okay? You know it's killing you. You know it's destroying you. But there's something in your brain that just craves it. It needs it. You can't live without it. The idea of it just gets your mouth watery, and it won't be long before you go back just to get your fix. But with a narcissist, when you go back, you're just getting breadcrumbs. That's the sad part, isn't it? The fact that you go back and you're just getting breadcrumbs. It's never going to be the way it was at the beginning. And you know what? Sometimes you have to be honest with yourself. Do you even want it to be the way it was at the beginning? Because a lot of you guys, you got into this shit from the beginning, and there was infidelity from day one. They were cheating on their wives. They were cheating on their husbands, right? Their girlfriends, their boyfriends. There was already infidelity. You were the side girl. You know, how many, sorry ladies, but I know a lot of you have had to tell you sometimes, like, you're the side bitch, right? You know it, right? And they're like, yeah. I know it sucks. But for years, some of you have been the side person, the side woman. Or if you're a dude, you've been the side dude. You're not the main person. I'll probably make another video about how to, the narcissist usually has like one person they're really bonded with, and these are the ones that this situation just goes on for years. And even though they have other side dudes that they screw or other side women that they screw up, there's always one that they're actually deeply bonded to. I remember my psychopath ex, I believe she had one. It was her first boyfriend. And man, it's like it had been years, and there was something there that I felt. And even though she had other people that were supposedly toxic that she would compare and say all these things, that there was something about that person, right, that was really special. And when she told me the story and how that shit ended, and just the way her mind just shifted after that, right? It's like something flipped and she just became this monster, right? So there's always this one person, but that doesn't mean that that's a healthy situation, and you should never try to even compete with that person or try to be that person. because that's like a matrimony made in hell. You don't want that, you know. Even like Joker and what's her face, and Harley Quinn, like they're two psychopaths, right? They're meant for each other, but they still destroy each other, right? So if you find yourself in a situation like that, walk away. Like rejoice that you're getting this information. Walk away. You know what I mean? Um, a lot of these things happen for us so that we can really look, you know, within and have some sort of self reflection and perspective at our lives, and look at the things that we did wrong and why our lives are the way they are, what decisions we made, because all these micro or micro decisions that we make, sometimes you think they're, you know, they're meaningless, you forget about them, but believe me, it's these little tiny decisions that we make on a daily basis, they start shaping the trajectory of our life. And it isn't until you end up in a situation like this that you're like, holy shit, how did I get here? Well, you know, let's go back to your childhood, right? Let's go back to your adolescence. Let's go back to the decisions that you started making at a certain point in your life when you were, you know, at your most vulnerable. You were growing up, you were being influenced the most. What decisions did you make like that? You know, how was your first relationship? When your first relationship ended, how did you cope with that? Did you heal? Did you just jump into another relationship? Were you looking to replace your ex-husband or your ex-wife? Were you looking to replace that? Were you looking for, like, let me find the same person, I need to find the same person, and you ended up finding the same person, probably a worse version of it? You have to be able to look at all those things, and honestly, you can't do that if you're in a toxic relationship, or sometimes in a relationship period. A lot of times you need time alone, and alone doesn't mean lonely, guys. It doesn't mean lonely, gals. It doesn't mean lonely. Alone doesn't necessarily need to be loneliness, you know. It's not a bad thing. It can be very empowering. And if this shit's happening for you so that you can have time to self-reflect, so that you can have time to really build yourself up, and make sure you're building yourself up for you, not so that your ex notices and comes back. I know there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube that, you know, how to get your ex back. I might make one with a clickbait title just for laughs, but why would you want to get your ex back? Why would you want to get the ex that cheated on you back? Really, like when you remove your emotions from this and you look at this from a logical standpoint, that makes no fucking sense, right? And that's why a lot of your dumbass friends, and I say dumbass friends because I know how frustrating it is, how our friends don't understand the trauma and the abuse, the psychological abuse that we went through. But you have to give your friends credit sometimes, because when they tell you, when they see that you're with someone that's abusive, that's lying to you, that's cheating, when they see you losing yourself, and they're like, they hate, you know, your boyfriend or your girlfriend, they hate them, and they hate that person, and sometimes they'll stop talking to you if you keep going back to them, and you can't blame them. It's like, fuck, that's it, I can't see you self-destruct like this. I don't have enough energy to continue to help you and listen to you when you just keep going back. It's like a drug addict. It's like, eventually, it's like, holy shit, it ruins you, because they just keep relapsing, and it's all this shit, and it's so much baggage. Like, I used to work with a lot of people in recovery, and I work with the families of alcoholics and addicts for a long time in my early journey, and I would see them that they were just destroyed, because, you know, they cared for their children, they cared for their spouses, right? But it takes a toll on you, and, you know, these people need to hit a rock bottom, and they need to figure it out on their own, and if they can't stay healthy, they can't be in a healthy relationship. So if we associate the drug addict with, like, the narcissist, which is like a drug, right? You can't expect that your life is going to blossom when you're with someone that's destructive like that. You know what I'm saying? Because a narcissist, it's like they eat your brain, they eat your soul, and you're getting dopamine and you're getting oxytocin and all this shit at the idea of things being the way they used to be, right? The toxicity of it has become so delicious. But it's a drug. It's killing you. It's killing you. And then you get depressed and you get anxious, right? So what do people do? Like alcoholics, they're depressed. So they drink to numb, right? To numb the emotions, to numb the pain. But it's a downer. And it sends them down a fucking dark path after that. So it's like the medicine that they, the self-medication that they're taking ends up destroying them 50 times more. And this is the same thing with a psychopath narcissist and the trauma bond, that you feel that the only thing that can heal you is the text, the call, right? The voice of your narcissist ex again. You feel like that. If only, they texted me. Oh my God, they texted me. Thank you, God, they texted me. I feel good now. I feel good, right? Man, it's funny, man. Like I thought, what the fuck just happened here with the audio? I hope that this audio is being recorded because I just noticed my microphone's not working. Son of a bitch. Life goes on. Anyway, you know what? I'm gonna take that as a sign because I think I've spoken a lot tonight and I was sleepy and now I'm not, but I should go to bed because the quality of your sleep is very important. So thanks for watching this far, guys. I hope you got some value. I know I was all over the place tonight, but there's a lot of information that I just wanted to get out there because I read the comments and I take screenshots all the time, and there's just so much. Sometimes you guys leave so many comments, like the same person asks so many questions, and it's like, holy shit, like I can make a video like of all of those questions combined, which is what just happens. I was just getting a combination of everything, and I get emails all the time, and it's like, man, you know what? I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna see if I can combine this and mix this, intertwine this, because at the end of the day, we've all gone through this shit. We've heard it from other victims. We read the books, right? We read the comments, see the videos, and it's all the same shit. It's all the same shit. At some point, you have to wake up and say, this is it. I don't want this anymore. I'm done. And you have to have the courage to walk through that dark path because it's going to be scary at first. As you know, I have a coaching program. I would love to work with you guys and help you through that dark path out of this nightmare. Sometimes you can't do it by yourself and you need someone that's been there before. I had a mentor, right? I believe that everyone that's successful in life has always had some sort of a coach, of a teacher, someone that can guide them through these tough parts, because sometimes all you really need is just to make these little adjustments, these little tweaks, and it changes the course of your life forever. But those tweaks are invaluable. They're priceless, right? How much would you be willing to invest if someone can just tweak something about you that all of a sudden changes the course of your life forever, right? Like, where do I sign up? That's been my motto. I still would have been in hell. I still would have been in hell, plotting revenge and plotting all these things that I was, fantasizing about. Thank God I met someone that had been through this shit, because I was losing my mind just like all of you are. So if you're interested in working with me, just visit this little URL over here, right? See if we're a good fit for each other. Give me a brief synopsis of what you're going through, and I'll give you more details on the private coaching program. That's it for tonight, guys. I hope this gave you some sort of clarity tonight or today, whenever you're watching. Feel free to share this video with whoever you feel needs a little kick in the ass, a little tough love. And if you got some value, drop a like, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can get more videos like this notified, or so that you can get notified of videos like this. That makes a lot more sense. All right, thanks for watching, guys. My name is Kira. This is Psychopath Exposure. Have a good night.